Good morning. Good morning, everyone. All human beings within earshot of this video. I come before you, greeting you in the salutations of peace. Uh, Hopefully, everyone is doing well. Uh, Everyone is staying upbeat, staying positive, and focused. Despite a lot of the craziness that's happening, staying on track. Um, I just wanted to get on here today. I got on here the other day and just wanted to share some things. Specifically, as I was talking the other day on what's going on in these other countries, uh, uh, I was dumbfounded to find NBC World News Tonight showed some footage what was going on in was it the Netherlands. I believe it was the Netherlands or Austria won. And I was sort of dumbfounded because, mainstream media, U.S. media is really not trying to show that a lot of this is going on overseas and that people are involved in a direct movement to counteract what their governments and their so-called leaders are doing. Also, the rift that they're causing amongst citizens, pitting citizens against one another. They don't have to use the race issue now. They use vaccine, that type of stuff. They use this program that you obviously don't have a choice. You got to do it, or they come in with their what you call gulag, the what you call them goons they used to be back in the Gestapo. And this is what's going on. And now they've had stuff going on. I'm looking at a list of stuff that's going on in Europe. You got protests going on in Italy, Switzerland, Croatia, Austria, the Netherlands, Northern Ireland, and North Macedonia. These are some of the hot spots. And the thing is, yesterday or the day before, Dutch police uh, opened fire on protesters. I think two were hurt. They still haven't come out whether they were using live rounds or they were using rubber bullets. I don't know why. That's been a couple of days ago. I don't know why they won't just come out and say what you doing. You trying to kill these folks or what? But this is some real serious stuff, man. It's like people sitting here need to realize that everything that's been happening in our country has been, is just a stepping stone to down a road that where a lot of these other countries are trying to head. But the thing is, you need to take these folks in these other countries are not going for that. They're not going. They're sitting here and they are saying, no, we're not going to bow down to these draconian measures, these tyrannical measures. Tyranny. This is tyranny. This is not no so-called health push for everybody's benefit. It's not what it is. Tyranny. And I'm gonna show you the meaning. I'm gonna tell you the meaning of tyranny. Cruel and oppressive government or rule. Similar. Despotism. Autocracy. Dictatorship. A nation under cruel and oppressive government. Cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control. That's what tyranny is, and it just seems like that's what's going on. It's arbitrary because, a lot of these governments are taking upon themselves. Fuck what the people who elected them do. The sad thing about it, that's where the split comes in amongst human beings. In all these areas, you got some that's fully about what they're doing, not realizing that you're allowing tyranny to rear its head, and you're okay in it. And these folks don't care. They don't care about people doing that shit. That's what they want them to do. And these folks are not. They're standing up against that shit over there, and it's it's getting to a point where it's getting violence is getting involved. Now we just coming off all the nonsense that went on last year with, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement and these protests, and you know, I'm gonna keep it real. Some say protests, some say just flat out riots, and that's the truth. But I look at it like this: when you living in a world where you got people could get away with doing shit or just doing stuff, and certain people are held accountable, some aren't, and this and that, and this is the environment it fosters. I mean, you're gonna have people when certain stuff ain't looking right, people gonna get out there and fuck up shit, because obviously ain't nobody listening to the stuff they need to be listening to. They more worried about other issues that's not even that serious. The seriousness and urgency is totally not there compared to a lot of the stuff that that we are facing that needs to be spoken on. And you know, this is it's getting serious in other countries, and for the love of you know, over here you gotta realize, man, you got people over here gotta get prepared, man, to say no, or to get ready for a lot of dysfunction. Because no matter how many people think they're right on whatever side of the fence it is, these folks are using that to create this rift. It's almost like they're doing it to say that, oh, human beings are impossible to lead themselves and do this and do that, you know. So we gotta go ahead and do this. The people are behind the curtain, because this is where we wanted to go anyway. And this is the big picture. The little small pictures are all the little social arguments and grievances that we're dealing with amongst cultures, amongst races, amongst politics, and all this other stuff. But the big picture is that, hey, we don't want nobody to come together and unify on this shit, even if you happen to be one who has pro-choice, or you're a person who is against that when it comes to what we're dealing with right now. You know, I looked at some stories where you had solidarity between those who were accepted that choice and those who didn't accept the choice, because those that accepted that choice felt like what their government was doing is totally out the way, wrong. No matter how much they try to justify it, it is wrong. Not only according to their whatever their bylaws and government processes are, just like over here the Constitution and all that, which been out the window. People act like that shit just like right now the Constitution is being discarded. It's been discarded. I don't know what I don't know where people at. Shit, the Constitution been discarded. People still fronting and talking about a document, a piece of paper that shows no fucking that has no fucking validity right now. But overseas, you have people who are standing their ground with those who haven't taken that choice, because it's wrong. Now, when you have people doing it like that, that really infuriates those behind the curtain. You know, it's almost it's almost like you know, the perpetual fear mongering that I spoke on. You know, it's leading people to make decisions and make choices not out of wisdom or out of gaining information and finding out what, but out of the fact that no, I'm scared. I don't know what if I'll be able to work. I don't know if the government gonna send the Gestapo after me if I don't do it. That's what people are operating off of. You know, that's not a way to operate, man. If you're a free human being, these governments are dead wrong for this shit that they are doing. They know it. For a person to sit and knowingly condone this shit, I mean, everybody has their choice, everybody to each their own, but you have to understand that there always a cause and effect. That's part of the universal law. You know, cause and effect. We see what the ultimate cause has been, and we see the effect coming behind this shit. And it's not going to change no time soon. People who are concerned about what's happening, to be honest, these are the people who are the ones who should be, you know, should be listened to as far as wisdom. Or this is a time which wisdom needs to be exhibited throughout. This not only here but everywhere, man. I mean, wisdom. Everybody needs to relax and just, you know, try and deal with some wisdom for a change. Stop working off of emotions and becoming all emotional and just shooting out here without thinking and all this other stuff. You know, because with everything that's going on, 9 times 10, there's always a different story than what the people are being told or being forced to receive. Of course, via mainstream media and those public servants who aren't really public servants. They are servants of the cabal and elite status all over. All over. All over, man. It's sad, man, when you see the situation, but it's real. So now, with that going on, you know, you think about you think about some of the people, the masterminds involved in this that you see on the regular. They may not consider themselves a mastermind. I do. But Dr. Fauci, I mean, damn, man. I mean, this is the crap that has been going on and it's destabilizing countries. People around here living up under a fucking totalitarian state and don't even want to admit it. They in denial about it. I mean, it's affected the sports. It's affected all of this shit, man. Movies, everything. You got people who were told to do this, do that. If you can't do it, you won't be able to play in this movie. Or you had some people who said, nah, I'm not getting that, so I'm done. I'm good. I'm cool. I don't need that money. I think that's what Ice Cube did. But you had a couple more people who, you know, whatever. Or they were fired. Same thing in sports, man. I mean, like, come on, man. You can't literally make people do shit that they don't want to do. I mean, when you doing shit like that, it's no different than what during Nazi Germany, when they were going in and doing all type of unspeakable horrors to those that claimed Jew during that period in time. No different than what people were doing the slave trade, snatching human beings and sending them across the world, across the damn planet to some other area just to make them rich. You know, no different than being shanghaied. You know, back when Chinese was being snatched and brought to San Francisco to work in the mines and all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's no different than none of that stuff. You can't make people do stuff that they don't want to do. And it don't matter what president you are, what leader you claim to be or whatever, man. If you doing shit and a person's intuition is telling them, no, I'm not doing that shit. Who gives you the right to tell them or take their livelihood or take their freedoms away? This is the mess that that has been transpiring now, and it's like it's been given an okay by certain leaders. We're gonna stay right here in this country for now, and you know, these same leaders don't really want people over here to become solidified with those everywhere else. Solidarity is a motherfucker, because solidarity is unification. Unification means standing up. Everybody, fuck all the damn labels and titles and the shit that contributed to tribalism and all this other shit. No, the threat of freedom is knocking at the door of everybody. Some people may have a little bit worse because of the already social injustice that's been going on, but everybody is being affected. Shit you not, these folks care nothing about no one. So people who can continue to dwell on that like they're getting the upper hand while other people aren't, you really aren't. That's the sad thing about it. You getting just as fucked over as other people. It may take a little minute for you to figure it out. People that have always been fucked over throughout the years, they're already numb to it and used to it. So it's almost like, damn, we gotta adapt to this shit. We gotta adapt to that shit. But now, man, people are like, no, we're not adapting to none of this, because this is just flat out infringement on people's freedom. Sad thing about it, man, the choice that they're making now is pitting people against one another when you already have racism, pitting people against one another. You already have sexism. You already have religion. You already have classism. You know, I'm of this class. You ain't nothing. I can tell you what to do. You know, now you're going to have this. Oh, I made that choice. You didn't. So I can go here. I can do this. I can do that. While a person laughing and giggling with that stuff, you know, and then you look up a year or so later and you realize all your fucking freedom's been thrown out the door because of the choices that were made by people who felt like these folks was on some real genuine shit. So yeah, man, this is it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. They're spreading fear all around, even with the countries of Russia and China, with the warmongering between countries about Russia doing this, China doing that, back and forth, back and forth. You know, and it's like people gotta stop, man. Sit back for a minute and look. Hopefully that third eye can open up and see shit for what it really is, and stand in solidarity with people who are like, man, fuck that. I mean, it is what it is. Y'all doing what y'all do, but shit, I'm gonna do what I do. not going for it. And that's how people have to do. But as I say, everybody has a choice. So you got Europe over there burning up like it's, you know, like it's like it's Oregon and Washington State and stuff last year here in America and all the Black Lives Matter movements. But this movement right here needs to be addressed, and it's urgent, because not only does this affect freedom, it affects everybody. It affects all people with the shit that they're doing. It's like they going so far out here to get people to do something. It's like it's already should be red flags. It already should be red flags popping up. Already do. And as far as some of the other news I wanted to sort of elaborate on, you know, the unfortunate happenings that happened last week with the death of that young guy, Young Dolph. It's sad because, you know, once again you see another incident where, you know, an entertainer who happens to be a rapper is murdered callously, no value of life, with no care, to a point it's like, when will we? And I'm specifically going to take this into the black neighborhood because that's where I'm from. When will we as black people stop being so jealous and envious of others, egotistical when it comes to other people who may have made it, may have did this, and may have did that. And I know because I come up in the late 80s and 90s as a child and teenager. I came through the same peer pressures, the same mess that didn't make no sense. You know, I lived in Memphis for a period of time. I actually caught a charge there, and I ended up spending some time in prison there in Tennessee. So I know about all that. I know how when you're coming up, you know, you always want what somebody else got. It's like in our community, that shit just runs rampant. And I was listening to one of the guys on their podcast, and Billy Carson. He was talking about the slave, the Willie Lynch syndrome, which is basically that's what it is. I mean, when will we break that shit? I mean, right now and I kind of look at it like, with everything that's going on, we definitely need to wake our asses up and be to a point where we can operate, because to be dumbed down as we are dumbed down, and to be stuck on some of the most materialistic and vain shit with everything that's coming down the pipeline toward all of humanity, you know damn well, man, when shit start hitting the fan, the majority of us is going to be taken out, because we ain't going to know no fucking better. We too ignorant to certain shit, because we are only one track minded, tunnel vision, looking toward that way as something that's nothing, you know. But when are we going to stop that shit, man? I mean, these folks throwing that shit up on the news. A lot of people didn't know Young Dolph. I've heard of him. I haven't listened to none of his music. I don't really partake in some of that music. I mean, it's I don't knock nobody, but it's all good. But that guy did not deserve to be gunned down in a damn cookie shop. For what? Because of little beefs and shit. When motherfuckers gonna get over that shit, man? It don't matter where you at. All over this country, man. Black folks, especially the younger generation, man, it's almost like we don't have no value of life. We have lost value of life. So everybody else outside of our communities don't value our life. So we can it's easy to call us whatever. It's easy to call us monkeys. It's easy to call us uh, uh, wardens of the state who all want to live off this and that. It's easy to say all that shit because they don't even value our lives as human beings, because a lot of us don't value our own lives as human beings. Obviously we don't, because of all the crap that's going on. And the sad thing about it, in the it's like in the rap world, it's like, man, that shit just is a tinderbox when you are floating in and out in different areas, man. I mean, it just brings that bad energy, that bad vibe from those who honestly are out for nothing but to gain something, and they don't care how much they're gonna gain it, and it's no different than what these folks are doing at the top to everybody. We have to wake the fuck up and get out of that shit, man, so that we can be able to protect our children, protect our grandchildren, protect our families, our loved ones, and everything else, while all this stuff is trickling down from levels that we have no idea. As black people, we don't move past the church or the mosque, and who's the who of the music or entertainment field. We don't move past a lot of that, man. And it's like we gotta move past that shit. There's a whole lot of shit going on, and the more ignorant, the more callous a person is or aware of shit that's happening, the more you become a victim. The more you become a victim, man. So, it's sad, man. You have to, it's overall sad, man, that all these entertainers have been passing away or being murdered. It's like, damn, I done seen, uh, over the past couple of years, it's been few artists that I actually listened to, and, have passed away due to, health problems, or were murdered, man. And it's almost like, damn, even one of my favorite go-to, Prodigy from Mobb Deep, man. I mean, it's still fucked up that he's gone. He passed away. But it's like a lot of people are like P. One thing I can say about P, he brought out some stuff. Even though this man came up Mobb Deep, we know how those who know Mobb Deep know the music. They know what Prodigy and P always talked about. But they also know that Prodigy was on some other shit. When he got locked up, he started changing his ways. He started thinking differently. He started thinking on a tip that's dealing with humanity as a whole. And, he had already spoke on the Illuminati and throw little stuff out there, a lot of songs. And then, he was moving toward helping to wake people up. And a lot of these guys were doing shit. A lot of people would never even know certain people were doing things, because they're always looking at their videos, they're looking at this and that, and they just some gangster robbers and this and that and all and other. But a lot of times, you don't even realize that some of these guys are doing stuff out of the limelight that's really commendable. They're helping people. They're doing just like Young Dolph. They're helping people in need and all that. And then to turn around and to be callously taken out, and in your own neighborhoods and all this stuff from just jealousy or however it may be. Really, to be honest, we don't really know why. What was the purpose? But we so used to it in the black neighborhoods that it's like, oh, there had to be some jealous, hating dudes mad because of this. And it's like, man, we got to get out of that shit. These folks are sitting up here shutting down countries and willing to open fire on people who think different about what we in the middle of right now. So it's like everybody need to be trying to get their mind focused on the reality we're in, man. Fuck what other people think, man. I'm talking about as an individual, a person need to take it upon themselves, man. I mean, people fall in line once examples are thrown out there. People lead by example, man. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm a work in progress. Not perfect. Still going through issues myself, going through that. But the most important thing right now in my focus, in my view, is that human beings begin to realize that we are all here for a specific reason. And that human beings are more connected than it has been led on throughout history. And that human beings need to step up and stand in solidarity against this push of tyranny across the planet. Shit, this right here could break down all racial barriers, all economic barriers, all that shit that held motherfuckers down and had all this back and forth bickering. When everybody comes solidified and standing against tyranny, man. I mean, fuck that, man. That's how you move forward and you make the civilization that we're living in a whole lot better than what we've been experiencing. Because obviously they're coming at everybody with the kitchen, everything, but the kitchen sink. And in some cases, they are throwing that out. So how long would it take before it reach here? I don't know. Like I stated the other day, but it's something that everybody should be aware of. And as a black man in the black community, man, we need to get the fuck out of our feelings and out of this shit and realize serious issues at hand, man, that may reach a point where, hey, you have to deal with that. Or somebody in your family. If you're not aware of a lot of this shit, then you just are like a deer in the headlights. That's the sad part that really makes me feel kind of frustrated and distressed sometimes, because we don't take a lot of stuff seriously. Not the things we should. We take a lot of other stuff, man, way more seriously, and we get left behind in the sauce and get caught and trapped in these entrapments because we don't take shit serious. We don't ever want to move out of that one circle to try and figure stuff out and become aware by gaining more information than the information we've already been indoctrinated with. A lot of that shit wasn't meant to evolve a person in the first place. Just keep a person stagnated enough to be controlled. We have to move that. We have to move in a direction out of it. Like, I think I said this few talks back. I mean, human beings will never be nothing toward freedom of all human beings until we face our own demons. We face our own issues within, our own thought processes, our own indoctrinated, propaganda-led actions and behaviors. Until we reach that point, we'll never be, we won't be good. Nobody. In the sight of high-end tyranny, we won't. Matter of fact, while I was speaking on Prodigy came out with a album, right? I think it came out like right after he passed, but it was finished work. The Hegelian dialectic, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. I can never pronounce it. But he had a song on there that he talking about tyranny. It's like all this stuff. Like a lot of people years back were speaking on things that everybody laughed at and shunned and talked about and called them crazy and lunatics and conspiracy theorists and this and that and all, everything but a child of God. And it's ironic that everything that a lot of these places is brought up is manifesting right here in our backyard, all over the planet. How do you get over that? Change the way we think and stop trusting these fools. Stop trusting these fools. So yeah, we need to, in the black community, need to understand, man, we gotta get out of that shit. But we out here murdering and killing one another over petty shit, over because they got some money, because they may be doing this and doing that or whatever, man. Gotta stop it, man. Human beings, a human being is a human being. When you take that person's life, you have denied them the right of allowing them to experience life as a human being. No matter what they are. I mean, I can understand if you, hey, defending yourself or some stuff like that. But I know I'd have been there. I'd have been in that whole lineup, man. And I could look back, and I've always looked back and see how just off the mark and off base a person's thought process is being, man. You know, my dad used to tell me a lot of times not put yourself in a compromising position. When I was a child, man, coming up, that's one of the main things I used to remember my dad telling me all the time. There's two things: take care of your tools, take care of your tools or whatever. You know, you got tools, you got shoes, however. If you take care of your stuff will take care of you. And never put yourself in a compromising position. And these have been words of wisdom that have they have stayed with me, even though there were times when I knew that wisdom applied to certain situations and I did other than that. And of course, I ended up seeing why it was important. So right now, the whole planet is being put in a compromising position. People are feeling uncomfortable about being around people or going here or going there, scared because of this or scared because of what the police may do and if the government coming after them. I mean, this is a compromising position because people have refused to demand answers to shit that's right out here in their face. I ain't gotta go back into Fauci. I mean, it's all out here. Fauci is a murderer. I don't care what these folks. And even the sad thing about it, the NIH come out. I think it was yesterday or Friday talking about. Now this is the same organization that came out and said that Fauci everything that he brought out on as far as dealing with the gain of function and all that stuff, that it wasn't accurate. And then turn around, these folks come out and say that they have to start coming out after those who are spreading misinformation on Fauci. So how do you come out with the truth about the guy and then get mad because people have been already saying that's what's up? That's what has been happening the whole fucking time. How do you do that shit? That's what the NIH actually stated. And matter of fact, I'm about to pull that shit up because that's how crazy that shit sound. This is crazy. I could not believe that when I read that shit. Yeah, here it is right here. First of all, now I'm going to go back to the first article from the NIH. I'm just going to tell you how this shit. Now this is a month ago. October 22nd. In major shift, NIH admits funding risky virus research in Wuhan. October 22nd. Now, this is a Vanity Fair article. Now, I'm going to go 2 days ago. Washington Post. NIH director. Conspiracies are winning here. And this is what it says. Francis Collins, who is the head of NIH, wants online misinformation spreaders brought to justice. Has a stern message for the American public. The country has what he called an epidemic of misinformation and disinformation, and is fueling a dangerous distrust in science. Conspiracy are winning here. Truth is losing. That's a really serious indictment of the way in which our society seems to be traveling. Like, what? What the fuck? And this is the director of the NIH that a month ago came out and said that Dr. Fauci was a liar, basically. So how the fuck do you go from trying to be a proponent of truth, calling out one of your own guys who's the head of all this shit, and then turn around and come out and say that conspiracies are winning? See, this is the game they've been playing, man. It's like, people got to understand, especially, that's why I be saying, in the black community, if you ain't got no awareness on none of this shit, man, you in trouble, your family in trouble, and all this stuff, because you're not aware of anything outside of your neighborhood, your state, or this bullshit back and forth political shit. You need to be aware of this shit, man. It's all type of agendas going on. It's been going on years, man. So, yeah, this come out saying that people who spreading misinformation, even though they come out and stated that their own Dr. Fauci was spreading misinformation. What hypocrites. It's sad, man. And it's so out in your face right now that it's like, it's like if people continue to go the way they're going, it's like they're inviting it and they're doing it to themselves. And you got a lot of people, I'm one of them, who are not going to allow motherfuckers to fuck a motherfucker over, period. I'm not going to allow anybody to get me fucked up, get me took out or fucked over because a motherfuckers want to ride in the car with these bums. I'm not riding. I'll walk. I'm cool. And that's where I stand. But I just want to get on here and share something for the Sunday, 11/21/21, and hope that everybody continue to stay in good spirits, keep a positive mind, open up their mind to be awareness, meditate, spiritually get yourself in tune, so that you can have discernment. That's the biggest thing people need, is discernment. A lot of stuff just don't feel right with your spirit. And if you know it ain't right with your spirit, why the fuck would you go ahead and do it? Then you'll be sitting back regretting it. Talking about, oh man, I don't feel right. I know I shouldn't have did that. Just like when your mom told you not to get your hand out that cookie jar, not to grind no cookie. You went and got it. You got scolded, got punished or whatever, and then you're like, damn, I shouldn't have did that. But see, it's a whole lot at stake, man, with what's going on. So it's important that everybody, man, realize, man, you gotta be able to have discernment. For real. So let's hope everything moves forward. That which is in the dark be exposed with the light of truth, so that all of humanity could be able to recognize what's knocking at the door of everybody. Nobody is excluded, except for those that's in those circles of secrecy. So with that, I leave you as I came with salutations of peace. Have a good day and a good week. Hopefully I'll be back on here within the next couple of days to bring something else Until then, I'm wishing much love and respect to all. Thank you.